Named squad for Solomon Islands. Must be pretty excited to have Hudson back.
Yeah, it's good. He's obviously disappointed to be missing the Confeds. He's he's had a tough time the last few years with injuries. He is he's a massive player for us. He's big for the squad, big for the team. We're pleased he's back.
Where would the squad rank in terms of your strongest possible squad?
Well, I think bar probably the two players I've left out, this is the strongest squad I've had. I think, and I've probably said that over the last couple of windows, but we've never had the sort of full mix of Ryan Thomas and Winston, and there's always been sort of one player missing. So I think this is by far, I would say, the strongest squad in certainly my time I've been here.
You say bar those two players. I heard you say that you left them out because of fitness. What kind of fitness do you mean? Is that match fitness? Is that just general fitness?
Look, I think I've been really clear to both players about what's needed for them to get back in the team. Clayton is one. Before I sort of go into the reasons why, which I think it's probably been out in the media. Clayton is someone that I think I've picked him in every squad since he's first made his debut. He is someone that I believe in so much. I think he's got a massive career ahead of him. I really do. I think it's only a matter of time before he gets a professional contract. I love him as a player, as a character. He's a great character. But this part of his game is something that he needs to improve. And it's the same with Bill. And the problem it's been a persistent thing. It's something that they're both in different stages of their careers, but they've got the same issue, and it's something they need to address. So, I have these two players. It's not like I'm dropping them and they're not part of the team. These are so important to us. They are the future of football in New Zealand. They're the future of the national. They really are. These two, they're two special players. And I don't, ever since Clayton made his debut, honestly, there's no one that wants him to be a professional player more than me. So this is something that we can't go on with this. And by the way, it's not just these two. It's, there's a few others need to improve in this area. But certainly it's gone on a long time now.
So it is just general fitness then. You need to go out for a few more runs. Is that it?
Look, it's. On the outset it sounds simple. It's all a mentality. The issue, the challenge probably Bill has is, he's been sat on a bench for a long time, and then when he's playing reserve team football, which when you're playing reserve team football is different from coming and playing a game that means something. There's just a more bigger demand on the game, and certainly demand physically. And look, that's not, that's very clear. Anyone in football would understand that that's very, very difficult to get match fitness that way, but he's still got to do more. And the same with Clay. He plays at a level that's a lot lower than international football, and he's got to find a way. He's got to find a way, because look, this is the part of his game that he needs to improve to go to the next level. So, look, when I called him, they were both disappointed, but certainly with Clay, I know he's on the verge of signing a professional contract. This, what's happening with the national team is should not take anything away from that. If there was any club interested in him, which I know there are, I would get on the phone tomorrow and tell them, convince them to sign him, because I believe in him. So this is something that will get fixed, but we need it fixing now.
You've got two new players named in the team. What can you tell us about them, and why do they fit in the group?
Well, Ollie's been with us before. So he's a good young keeper. We know all about him. We've been following him for a long time. And Maya is someone that I think for a long time now we've been looking at bringing in some depth and covering the centre forward position. We've been following a lot of our under-20s. There's some good players in there, and I think out of all of them, Maya is shown not just quality, but he's. Like with a lot of our younger players who have done well, he's got a really strong character. He's hungry as anything. He's brave, which is big for a young player. And I think, coming into this scenario now where it's such a big game, but we have such a you know, a good squad, a strong squad. He's not coming in, and I don't expect him to do anything. I don't need him to come in and score goals. I don't need him to do anything. I just need him to come in and show what the characteristics he has, which is, you know, his youthfulness, his energy, his bravery, and if he focuses on that, he'll you know, he's quite capable of scoring goals. So it's a great chance for him.
So being young age is not really going to have an effect, is it?
I don't think so. I think, look, we've had I think we've had a lot of young players that have come in the squad in the last 2 or 3 years. You know, we've just talked about Clayton. You know, he actually, for periods of the Confederations Cup, he was outstanding. I want him to go to the next level. You know, but 2.5 years ago, when he made his debut, he was getting criticised because he was a young kid for you know, we're throwing around caps, and same with Declan Wynne and other younger players that have been given their chance. They're actually now, we're starting to see that they're doing very well. And look, for me, Maya Bevan is someone that is in that mould. He is someone that, especially in a position that we need more players knocking on the door. He's got he's got pace, quality. Scored again this morning in a professional environment. He's earned his chance, and he's an exciting player, and I want to give him a chance in this next window. He's not just coming in to train with us, so. When I can get him in, we're going to get him in.
Also, Jake Gleason's been left out of the squad also. What does he need to do to come back into this fold?
Well, it's just commitment. It's you know, we've had a couple of windows where he's not been available to us because he stayed with his club. You know, we had the USA tour where he left halfway through and he was injured. And his club were putting him under a bit of pressure, and he went back to his club after. It's down to commitment. I shouldn't need to be pleading with players that, you know, to come and play for New Zealand. There's been a couple of scenarios with players where we haven't seen them around the national team for a while because there's no way I'm going to be trying to convince players to play for us. We had this issue when I came into the national team. We don't really have that now. We're in a much better position. But to answer your question, it's look. I've not spoke to him since USA, and the only way we're going to be successful is if we have a squad of players that are dying to, you know, and fighting to play and represent their country.
Has he reached out to you at all about selection?
No, but the media have, plenty. No, but that's all I hear. There's a couple of players, and it's interesting because all I ever hear is from the media, and I'm just standing there going, well, I want my phone to ring sometime, but that's what I need to see.
Just on Winston Reid, obviously he's on field, he's probably the best player in this country, but what's the difference when you've got an all-whites team with Winston Reid compared to a team when you don't have Winston Reid? Well, he definitely adds just his sheer presence. Not when you have a player that plays at that level, straight away he commands a change in the environment. Different, you know, an immediate respect from the rest of the players, which takes everyone up a level in terms of on the training pitch. But I think one of the biggest things with Winston is he's not just a world-class player, but he's really, really humble. And I think if you hear any of his, you know, when he's in the media, look, I don't hear many players talk like this, but one thing's really important to Winston, especially, you don't hear many Premier League players saying this, but he's very humble, but you hear it all the time in his language. He really wants the team. One of his core values is about working hard. Togetherness, team, work. He talks about it all the time, and I think that's one of the biggest things. When he comes in our environment, what's really important to him is we have a team. Everyone is working hard, and it's you know, people may think, oh, well, that's a given. Do you know what I mean? It's, you know, you're playing for your country, you should work. It's not how it works. You know, there's different, you know, we're human beings. There's different emotions that come in, different fears and things that happen. With a player that comes in like that, with that type of attitude and that type of demand in terms of a standard, it almost makes everyone go to that level in terms of work ethic, and which is something that we pride ourselves on, and it has to be one of the core things of our team.
Is he 100% ready to go, or are those injuries still plaguing him a little bit?
Well, his recovery's been good, and he obviously came back yesterday. and we just got to monitor. He'll be, you know, touch wood, he'll get a few more games under his belt and he'll be good. So I'm confident. Winston seems in a good place. He was deeply disappointed not to be involved in the conference. You know, I think he had all his family coming over, and it was a big, as you know, a big tournament. I think he would have been massive in that tournament as well as the leader. So he's glad to be back. We said at the beginning this period now. We had to get here with all our best players available, and I think over the period of time, you know, the Tommy Smiths and the Durantes and all this, because they haven't been with us for a long period. Ryan Thomas, early days. You know, we're in a good position now where we get to this period and we have all our players available to us. So I'm pleased.